But let's begin with John and tell us about some of these recent fuel efficiency standards for trucks. Why do they matter? What happened? What's the impact of what's happened?
Yeah, thanks, Greg. This is a really interesting time for the trucking industry, and it's important to have a little bit of background to know that starting in 2010, all new trucks sold in the United States have to be super clean. And that was part of a multi-year program phased in by the US EPA that resulted in trucks getting much cleaner from a criteria emission perspective. So that's NOx and particulate matter. So now the new trucks being sold are really clean, and that's going to really help public health. And so now the challenge is, how do we make those trucks even more efficient to reduce our dependence on oil and more efficient to reduce greenhouse gas emissions? So what's exciting now is that we've got some decent public policy in place, and the engineering talent that was dedicated to really cleaning up the criteria emissions is now going to be applied to helping reduce dependence on oil and cut greenhouse gas emissions. So it's a really exciting period, and I think we're going to see a lot of innovation in this space.
So cleaner air, higher fuel efficiency. Mike Tunnell, the trucking industry actually went along with this, which has not always been the case. So why did the truckers get on board with this technological change driven by government?
Well, back in 2008, we adopted a sustainability plan, and one of the pillars of that plan was looking at better fuel efficiency. And we identified that as a need among the industry, and government acknowledged that and kind of got the wheels turning to get this, to make it happen. And we attended a White House ceremony not too long ago that put the bill in place, or the law in place, that would make this happen. And we'll have, it kicks in 2014, and we'll expect to see about 6% better fuel economy, as much as that, ramping up to 20% by 2018. So, you know, saving fuel can be at times the second most highest expense of a trucking company, and so saving fuel will save money and also help the environment.
And I think the EPA estimated that the return on investment was about 24 months for some of the technology put in place to meet these standards. Is that about right?
That's kind of the slot fleets look at. They like to see a 24-month return, and that's kind of the framework EPA worked in. So we're hopeful. Fleets are really different, have different types of operations. So some may, you know, get less, some more, and so it really depends. But that 24 months is a very important kind of milestone.
Yeah, not too long. David, let's talk with you about the impact this will have on companies that are trying to develop alternative technologies. Is this really going to open up markets for companies like yours that are trying to do hybrids and other non-petroleum-based technologies for trucks?
I think it really does. Quantum Technologies has focused on developing electric and hybrid electric drive systems for a lot of passenger vehicle applications. And we've also developed alternative fuel vehicles, such as vehicles that run on natural gas and hydrogen. And a lot of that has been in fairly high volume, but only in the passenger automotive sector. And we really do now see that broadening into the heavy-duty sector. And just as one example, we developed some brand new tanks for heavy-duty semis and large trash trucks. These are 25-inch diameter carbon fiber wound tanks that store natural gas, similar to the natural gas that you have in your oven or barbecue today, but you're running a vehicle. And with these two tanks, you can now run over 500 miles. And historically, that was always one of the issues, is the range limitation operating on some of the alternative fuel and concerns about there not being enough stations. But with the larger tanks and now the longer range, we think that that concern has gone away.